this is my first Grot tank. At least I'm pretty sure it is. It might be my second. And Guzblat Nosebiter has volunteered to come and stand next to it to give us an idea of the scale. I'm just going to move him out again, just so we can see everything that's going on. So, this particular Grot tank has got a Grotzuka. It's the massive gun barrel sticking out of the front of the turret there. But otherwise, pretty standard Grot tank. Plastic guard, a lot of rivet detail. That's probably a piece of bent plastic rod for the handle there. Bit of engine detail at the back. Nothing particularly extreme. These days I'd probably have more rivets. And also the edges aren't particularly dinged up and broken and bent, so it doesn't look quite as textured and detailed as my more recent Orc builds. Some of my earlier ones were like that. Now, if that wasn't Grot tank number one, this one is. It's one of these two. This one's got the big shooter. You can see I've drilled out the barrel there. It's also got a normal size shooter in the front, which would probably mean this is a boss Grot tank, because they get to have the extra weapons, I think. I might be mixing things up there. Again, it's got the bent rod handles. Bit more engine detail, slightly crazier shape, bit more of an inventive shape, which I really like. Again, not particularly. This is my original Grot boss tank, or boss Grot tank. This is one of the various figures I've got, miniatures models I've got that rattles. That's because to get this rounded shape at the front, I glued a plastic game can, like a tiddlywink, to some plastic guard and cut around it. And those tiddlywinks are not made from a polystyrene type plastic, so yeah, the glue gave out after I finished building it, and the piece came out and it rattles around inside, and I can't get to it to get it out again. This one's got a lot more sort of detail and pieces on it. Starting to get a bit more complicated. It's just got a standard big shooter turret, but as you can see, or you can when I tilt it over, it's got an open hatch, which was always going to have a Grot stuck in it, like a commander gesticulating wildly out of his tank. I just never got around to actually building and painting that. Here's another Grotzuka. This one is a bit more random. It's got well, it's not symmetrical, you know, it's got weird plating and different things on the tracks, and I just like this sort of mobile pillbox look. It's really sort of pugnacious and orky. And if we spin it around to the back, we can see this has got the number plate. I like to put number plates on Orc vehicles, so what we got there, GRTTNK. This is my first number plated Grot tank, so it gets Grot tank as its number plate. It's also got, if we just tip it forward, it's got the glyph plate on the top. I forget what that glyph is. It's the one, I think it's Dakar. Yes, it's Dakar. It's the one for much shooting. Well, I like that upright, boxy look, so when I came back to building Grot tanks, there was a bit of a break there. Decided to build some with rocket launchers because I didn't have any rocket launchers, so this is one of my rocket launcher turret Grot tanks with a very upright, boxy front and very triangular tracks. The rocket launcher itself just being some tubes. There's no actual rockets inside the tubes, they're just hollow. Sometimes I do put rockets inside, this time I didn't. It's got the press stud hatch handle there, big exhaust pipes, and of course it does have the rotating turret thanks to the pin and a washer. And I've never checked if absolutely all of these are intercompatible, but a familiar face. I used this in my How to Build Grot Tanks episode just as a final example. To show people what a finished Grot tank would look like. This is my other rocket launcher Grot tank, and this has got the very truck style body. This is not the first truck style body. The first truck style body is a slightly odd example, which will come up later on. It looks like a Grot Tank, but it isn't. It's actually technically a warbike. But yes, this has got the removable turret, washer turret ring. That'll pin back in. If I take that out, I can plug the turret from the previous one in. Doesn't look as good, so I don't usually, but it's an option if I want to take it. So there was another break in Grot Tank production, and then I came back and built this, which is a Scorcher Grot Tank, and this was kind of inspired by two things. I think it was called the Ford 3-ton tank. It's a sort of either late World War I or interwar period tank. It was kind of like a Renault FT17 evolved a bit by Ford in America. It's kind of a combination of that and the Italian World War II tankettes, the really tiny ones. The road wheels are actually discs of MDF. So I've got a hole cutting saw for, well, it's designed to cut circular holes through wood so that you can then put various kinds of PVC pipe and electrical conduit through. I use it to cut discs to make wheels, or bases for trees, for like Warhammer Fantasy forest terrain, that kind of thing. But here I've used some of those discs to make the road wheels for my Grot Tank. It's another one with a glyph plate on top. It's got the speed, I think that's Wazza, I think was the orc glyph for speed. It's definitely the glyph for speed, I just can't remember the word that goes with it. Got some fuel tanks on the back for the Scorcher. Massive weird exhaust pipe going up the side. Okay, this one's a little bit of an oddity. This was the first truck shaped Grot Tank, and it's not actually a Grot Tank. It is technically a warbike. Number plate there with Grot Doc. So I have a lot of Grots, or Gretchen, depending on which edition you're playing. They seem to go back and forth between the two. Just notice the door handle there, made out of various sizes of plastic rod. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of Gretchen, and I realised I actually had enough to make an entire army, and I just wanted to sort of bulk things out a bit. So this happened. This is a pain boy. It's a Gretchen pretending to be a pain boy in a big robo suit, and this is his Grot Orderly. It's one of my robo Grots. I've got quite a lot of these as well. I've got a lot of Gretchen now, but when I started scratch building orcs, I didn't, and I'd scratch built some heavy guns. Not mech guns, heavy guns, the old kinds. And I needed crew for them, and I came up with the idea of making robot Gretchen. So, yeah. So this is technically a pain boy. This is a pain boy on warbike, represented by a Gretchen pain boy, his robot assistant, and their ambulance. At some point in future, I'll do a video explaining how to make robo-grots as well. But this was the first sort of truck-shaped Grot Tank, and I liked the shape so much. I mean, obviously I was making an ambulance, so it made sense for an ambulance. I loved the shape so much, I decided to actually use it for actual Grot Tanks as well. And now we're up to the unpainted stuff. This is a second Scorcher Grot Tank that I made, based on a gigantic fuel tank. It's just a piece of PVC pipe, and it's got that whole truck style going. Built this at the same time as the other Scorcher. Actually, I just sort of ran out of momentum and never got around to painting. Again, something I ran out of momentum on. I decided that it was time to build some boss Grot Tanks. Boss Grot Tanks get to take 2 weapons instead of the usual 1. and you'll see I've got the plating around here with the word boss. It's something I quite like to do with orcs, putting big words on them. And we've also got this very vintage radio antenna. It's a sort of World War II German style radio antenna. It's a little bigger than a normal Grot tank, so I decided to make 2 boss Grot tanks to lead my tanks into battle. Not even sure if this is still legal in 10th edition. This would have been 9th edition that I was doing this. And this one, of course, you've probably spotted already, based on the World War I British tank. I think this is more or less a Mark IV, but they are all pretty similar. And it's not exactly historically accurate or anything. It was built by Grots. It's not like they're going to have been particularly accurate, but they've taken some inspiration from World War I, as indeed did Games Workshop when they made the Lehman Russ, which is possibly why you're thinking it looks like a Lehman Russ. Now, in keeping with the World War I theme of the other Boss Grot tank, this is Boss Grot Tank number 2, and it's based on the A7V Sturmpanzerwagen, which I've probably just mangled the pronunciation of. Sorry, Germany. This is Germany's World War I tank. Well, the one that made it into service anyway. It's got Boss on the front, so no one can argue with who it is. It's a bit bigger than a normal Grot tank. It's got the antenna there that looks like it should have clothes drying off it. I might actually add some clothes to it at some point. It's got a little Bad Moon glyph on the side. It's got the rocket launchers, and it's being fitted with a shooter as well, and a periscope, so that they can actually see what they're shooting at. And of course the googly eye hatch up the top there, and some checker plates at the front, just so I can do some exciting paint. Checker plate? What am I talking about? Some plates that look like checks is what I actually mean. And finally, the latest addition to the Cavalcade of Grot Tanks. This is the one that I've just built for the How to Build Grot Tanks video. But we may as well put it on the turntable and give it a bit of a spin and see it in company with all of its fellows. These unpainted ones are about to get painted. I'm going to go and take those outside and actually start painting. Well, I've gone handheld here so I could give you a shot which will give you an idea of all of the Grot tanks standing together, with Guzzblat Nosebiter standing in front of them. The dice box there is just holding a sheet of foam core up in the background to give you that nice white neutral background. But we get a nice look at the serried ranks of the Cavalcade of Grot Tanks. I haven't included the Grot ambulance, partially because I ran out of space on the turntable, and also because, like I said, it's technically a warbike. Those unpainted ones will be fully painted soon, and we might just have to revisit the Cavalcade of Grot Tanks, because, well, it doesn't take long to build them, so every now and again if I'm bored, I can build a Grot tank in a day, so sometimes that's just what you've got to do.